All right, so for a while I've been, it's always kind of a pain in the ass when you got some random project, you got a bolt or a nut or something like that, and you don't know what size it is. So you go to Home Depot and you find their little thread thing, and then they don't have the right size on there. And then even if they have the size on their little thread checker, or the bolt checker, they probably don't have it in the bin, or it's unorganized, or somebody put the wrong one in the wrong spot, and it's a pain in the ass. So Amazon sells, well, I'm sure other places as well, but I got mine on Amazon, this little thread set. I was gonna go buy each nut and bolt and like weld a little thing and make this whole contraption, but this is way easier and they're pretty cheap. I forget what I paid for it, but I think I'll figure it out and I'll put the number here somewhere. But I just bought the metric version. I bought the standard version a few years ago, and these things are great to have around. And then you can just go find the right nut and bolt online and buy it, and not go searching around and most likely show up to a hardware store and they're not going to have it. Especially around here, the metric stuff is there's some, but most of the time they'll either have the coarse thread or the fine thread, or they'll only have two different lengths, so they won't have a fully threaded bolt and you need one, or that whole shebang. So I'm doing a little project here for my tractor, and I found there was a couple of studs that I had to shorten up and make bolts out of, and I want to so I cut the stud off and then just kind of crappily welded one of the nuts onto it just to fit it up for now and make sure everything's the right length. And I want to measure the length of this and then get the thread pitch. So you could just take the stud, and what you want to do too is you want to make sure if it goes in like a turn, maybe two turns, and then stops, you might have the wrong pitch. So a lot of metric and standard bolts will be kind of close. So like let's say you have a standard bolt and the metric bolt is slightly larger. You find your metric size and you go to screw it in. It looks like it's gonna fit. It's just like the outer diameter on the threads is ever so slightly smaller than the metric outer diameter. So it'll fit in there, and the thread pitch will be pretty close, and you'll screw it in and you'll get one turn, maybe even two turns, sometimes even three before it starts to bind up. So you want to make sure that your bolt screws in pretty far. You want to go a good couple of turns before it stops. Just so you're sure that you got the right one. And I believe both sides of the stud are the same thread pitch. So you'll see that these thread all the way down. It bottoms out and it hits the cable. I can't pull the cable out, so I know this is bottomed out for sure. And these are nice too, because they have the nut and then the bolt on either side. And I just hang this next to my bolt bin, and then they have they give you a little. It comes on a little cable. You get a little loop on the end. Hang it next to my bolt bin, and I have the thread checker right there. There's quite a few sizes on here. Well, I found a lot of the other ones have like maybe 10 or 15 sizes of threads and nut and bolt sizes. And you'd have to buy a separate one for nuts and a separate one for bolts, and then a metric one, and then a standard one, and all that. They also have these in NPT fittings, and I think a couple other styles. I'm probably going to get the NPT one next. But anyways, this has 21 sizes and thread pitch combinations. So for the metric version. So what I'll probably do is post a link in the description for both the sizes, both the metric set and standard set that I've purchased. And I'll try to throw up the brand name and stuff on the screen here if I could figure it out.